Today we're going to tell you what it's really like to live in different parts of Venice.
And we're getting started right now. We're going to do this using niche.com. It's a popular tool where people can leave ratings and reviews on different cities. So we're going to do, we know for sure on niche there's Venice, South Venice. I think Venice Gardens is on there separately. And then we're going to do Nokomis too, because that's basically part of Venice as far as we're concerned. Leave a comment. Let us know if you agree. It's a town.
Town in Florida.
In Sarasota County. So overall grade, A-.
A-. That's not bad.
Not bad at all. I give it an A+.
Yeah, A++ on my book.
Yeah. Public schools, they're giving it an A. Housing, B-. Good for families, B+. We'll react to all this in a second. Jobs, A-. Cost of living, B-. Outdoor activities, A-. Crime and safety, C+.
Wow.
That's a shocker. Nightlife, B. That's also kind of a shocker. Diversity, C+. That's probably pretty accurate. Weather, A. Health and fitness, A. Commute, B+.
How is weather not A+?
Because it's probably a little hot for some people in the summers, is my guess, and the rain. But
maybe. Then it should be A-.
Yeah. The crime and safety being a C+ is the one that stood out for me.
Yeah, me too. And well, that one and the nightlife being a B.
Yeah, I would have put nightlife lower. I would have given you that, like, I mean, there's somewhat of a nightlife, but
it depends really what you're into and
your age, probably. Yeah. Crime and safety, I would have personally, my view of it every time we're there is I look at it as probably being an A+. But I don't know. I don't know what they're basing this on. If this is completely just on reviews, there are 64 reviews, which we'll read a couple of them too, just to kind of give you our thoughts on reviews. 4 stars out of 5. Public schools, yeah, that's probably accurate. Housing, yeah.
For housing, I would even say maybe a little lower just because prices have increased. But then at the same time, before property values went up, I feel like it was a steal, you know? Like property values here were so low for what you were getting. So maybe that's accurate actually.
And we actually had some people comment recently saying how even like in Michigan, like prices pretty much doubled there too. So it's kind of an issue everywhere, you know, it's not exclusive to Venice. Good for families, B+, definitely, I think I would agree with that. Jobs, A-. But yeah, jobs, I think that's actually a little high the more I think about it.
I mean, there is a lot of jobs in the service industry, but there is not a lot of different
types of work.
Yeah.
You got your service industry, tourism, you know, construction and things along those lines, you know, handyman, air conditioning technician, things like that. But
that's about it.
Those are the main things.
Teaching jobs and healthcare.
Yeah, teaching, healthcare, Amazon warehouse. That's pretty much the scope of what you got here. There's not a lot of factory work. Cost of living, B-. Yeah, I think that's pretty accurate. Outdoor activities, A-. I would give that almost an A+. Yeah. I think maybe the reason it didn't get the A+ is like maybe you got like other cities like Miami, how they had that kind of outdoor marina area that we went to. I forgot what it was called, but you know, where there's like shopping and stuff and you're outside. So, but we do have our downtown for something kind of like that. But yeah, I don't know. We got tons of parks. We got our beaches, obviously, the jetty.
Boating, golfing, lots of golfing.
Yeah, pickleball, bocce ball, croquet. Yeah. There's a lot of like
basketball courts, tennis courts throughout the city as well.
Yeah, there's a lot. There's trails everywhere. So yeah, I don't know. Those are the things that really stand out to me as okay, I'm not so sure if I agree with. And then the commute, B+, I think that's pretty accurate. So let's read a review quick and then we'll get to the next pocket.
And maybe we should mention the population. So the population of Venice that they are considering is 25,000, it said?
Yeah, just under 25.
Yeah. So technically that's not accurate. If you include like all of Venice Gardens, Nokomis, which Nokomis is a little bit more separate, South Venice, I would say it's probably closer to 60,000?
Yeah, give or take, maybe a little. Yeah, about 60. I can go with 60. I feel confident with that. But yeah, I mean, they are separated on here, so take it for what it's worth. 64 reviews. You want to read the first one? Oh, okay, 9 months ago.
Pretty recent. Venice is a beautiful little town that meets the needs of practically everyone. With lovely year-round weather, so many beaches to choose from, and an adorable town filled with different cultures and traditions, Venice is truly a town for everyone. Venice is what you make of it. That's interesting.
I think the first part is accurate, but the filled with different cultures part.
Yeah, I don't think that's very accurate. But I mean, it depends on what you're expecting to get out of the city, I guess.
Yeah, and where you're coming from too.
But even then, though, like there's really not much like cultural activities or anything like that. So I
Yeah.
don't know what they're referring to.
Everything else I think is pretty accurate though. It's an adorable town. Yeah, and maybe for people like 18 to 25, you know, somewhere in that age range, we, you know, as we said on the channel before, maybe not ideal for some of them if they want to get out and get a little more crazy or whatever, you know, have a lot more of a nightclub type scene. We just don't have a lot of that, but for a lot of people in that age range, it's still a really great place. It just depends on what you like to
That's
do.
what you're into and what you like to do.
Yeah. And yeah, so 5 stars they gave it. I think that's a pretty accurate review. Let's do one more. It looks like they're all 5 stars towards the top here. We're just going to read good ones for the main. So this is mainly Venice Island, just to give you some context of what Venice is for niche. We have lived in Venice for 35 years. It has only gotten better and more popular. You don't hear those two words together.
No.
Because usually when you hear people say more popular, they're like, oh, it's too crowded now. And so, yeah, it's interesting to see that together. There is a charming historic downtown with beautiful parks and very nice clothing stores, gift shops, excellent restaurants, and a fabulous French bakery. It is a simple walk from the shops to the Gulf of Mexico, where there is a public beach. The southern end of Venice Island has Casperson Beach, which is wild and beautiful. Venice High School now has the IB program, and if your children are gifted, they can attend Pineview, which is usually ranked number 1 in the state. We feel very fortunate to have lived here. Many people choose to retire here. There is a good theater here and a symphony, and in Sarasota you have access to the Asolo Theater, I don't know if I'm saying that right, ballet, and lots of other cultural activities. I think that's a 100% accurate review. I don't really have anything to add.
Accurate.
No comment. 5 stars, agree. All right, should we do Venice
Negative.
Gardens? All right, so Venice Gardens.
Okay, Venice Gardens. Oh, look at that. Number 14 best places to raise a family in Sarasota County overall.
So that's not that great then, really.
No.
14, because like,
I
how
thought
many?
I was going to say in the U.S.
Yeah, I mean, how many places are there in Sarasota County? But I don't know. We'll see. I guess.
So B plus is the score overall. Public schools, it's an A minus. Housing B. Good for families B plus. Jobs B. Cost of living B minus. Outdoor activities B plus. Crime and safety doesn't have a rating. Nightlife, it's B minus. Diversity B minus. Weather A. Health and fitness B plus. And commute B plus.
So to give some context here, so I mean, I always got to flip this around. If Venice Island is here for you, yeah, Venice Gardens would be here. You know, it's a little bit further inland because the island is closer to the water. And it's basically directly across.
And it's basically you just get over a bridge. Like, it's probably like a 5-minute drive, if that, from Venice Gardens to get over the bridge to the island. So there is no separation whatsoever, other than obviously the bridge.
Yeah. I guess there should be some differences in the ratings, and that is reflected. But at the same time, you would think it'd be pretty much the same.
Same, yeah.
Nightlife to me should have been like way lower then. If unless they're looking at it as, well, there's no, because there's really no nightlife in actual Venice Gardens. It's mostly residential. There's a little couple strip things with some, you know, coffee shops and things like that. But your nightlife is basically to go to Venice Island or go to Sarasota or something like that.
I wonder if that's why it's the same rating as Venice, though, because they're looking at everything that there is to do in Venice.
Yeah, and it's so close that they're kind of giving it a little bit of points for that, is probably my guess. Yeah, everything else is pretty similar, though, for the most part. Housing, B. I don't remember what Venice was.
I think it was a B as well.
B minus.
B minus.
B minus. So yeah, and it's a little more affordable in Venice Gardens. Good for families, B plus. Yeah, I mean,
it's pretty similar overall, yeah.
Yeah. And they're giving the population 3,423. I would have guessed it was more than that, honestly.
I thought it was 7,000 last time I checked on the map or somewhere.
We're gonna
it said 7,000.
Let's Google. This is
California.
the real Venice Gardens. No.
3,000? Really?
Wow. That's surprising to me.
In 2020.
Feels pretty sprawling. That's funny because in the picture then they show something from Venice Island.
Yeah.
But yeah. Wow. I would have pegged it at closer to like, 7,000, 6,000. That's interesting. So our idea of what the population of Venice as a whole is probably wrong then. It's probably closer to 40 to 50.
Yeah.
And again, this is full-time residents. You got to if you live in Venice, you'll understand what we mean, or you've been to Venice summer versus winter. Summertime, not very many people here. Winter, there's a lot of people here. So there's a lot of not residents that are here almost half the year during the winter months that just come here, when it's cold.
So population almost doubles, I would say, during the snowbird season.
I wouldn't be shocked if it actually triples, to be honest. But all right, I think there's only 2 reviews, so, and it's 4 stars. I think it was 4 for Venice too. So take it away.
I have lived in Venice Gardens for 15 years. The area is beautiful and relatively quiet for the most part. I live across the street from the Venice Civic Center. Okay, many people host special events there. My favorite part is taking advantage of the field across the street. Every day I utilize because my boyfriend and I walk our 2 Siberian Huskies. Having an open field allows us to play catch with the dogs. This is also a wonderful neighborhood to raise a family. My only complaint is that the cost of living. It is highly populated with other folk.
Yeah, I think it was a typo there. But yeah, cost of living, I mean, this was in 2017.
Oh, wow.
And again, we moved here, let's see,
2020.
2020, yeah. And we thought it was like, it was more expensive than when what we were paying, you know, comparatively in Orlando by a little bit at that time. But we thought it was a steal because you get the beach and all this and that. And now we feel like prices kind of reflect what they probably should have been. So that
in 2017, it was probably either similar or maybe even a little lower.
Yeah. So the fact that they thought it was a high cost of living is kind of crazy to me. But I guess, you know, it depends on, we always say this, it depends on where you're coming from.
15 years. Yeah, I wonder where they moved from. And I mean, 15 years, the cost of living probably only went up. You know, so that's probably their perspective.
And if you're coming from like small town Midwest or something, like, it's going to be a lot more because you're paying for weather, you're paying for beaches. You're not just paying for a house. Highly populated with other older folks. Accurate. I think that whole review outside of that part, I feel like was pretty accurate. Next review. Small and ever growing. Plenty to do here and see. Various cultures and all kinds of people reside here. Only thing like to see change would be higher wages for the workforce. Yeah, I can 100% agree with that, you know, but here, again, this is the tricky part with Venice. So many people are down here retired, not working, right? So people that do want to work, the many jobs that need to be filled to keep the retirees and snowbirds here entertained, there's plenty of availability of it, but it's not the highest paying work.
And it's not the jobs that like most people want to do either.
Yeah.
You know? Like most people don't want to be in a service industry.
Yeah, and you need people to work those jobs to keep those people entertained. Otherwise, there's not reason for them to come here. So it's this weird balancing act. So yeah, I mean, it would make sense for them to probably get paid a little more to make sure they can afford to live here and keep the people coming. Yeah. So it's in everyone's best interest if those companies can afford to do so. That's the other side of the equation, which I would think they can, but I could see how it could get tricky because you got your slow season and then you've got your busy season, you know? So you almost need like seasonal work because then it's like in the summer months, sorry, we don't really have much work for you, so you're gonna have to figure something out, you know, right now. So that's a tricky part of this area. So South Venice, I think the first thing we should look at is the population. Because if this isn't at least 5,000, I'm gonna be surprised.
5,000?
I don't know, I just feel like...
I was thinking more like 15, number 12 in Sarasota County.
And 3.5 stars instead of 4, so that's lower than all.
16,000.
16, good call. I thought I was thinking 10
20,
plus, but so overall niche grade, B plus, same as Venice Gardens, I believe. And actually, I'm just gonna whip through these quick. It looks all pretty similar, if not the same. Nightlife got an A minus for some reason.
Yeah.
It's a little higher than Venice Gardens, and I can see no reason why.
Yeah.
Well, I guess you know what? I take that back. If you think about Tamiami Trail on the south end there, there's a little bit more stuff. You know, you got Off the Wagon and stuff.
Off the Wagon was there,
yeah.
Or is there?
I think it's still there right now, yeah. So yeah, now that I think about it, yeah, I think that makes sense. There's enough stuff there going on that, you know, could add a little more to that area for things to do.
Still don't think it should be an A minus, but
yeah.
I mean, higher than Venice Gardens for sure. But yeah, I still think that's A minus. It's kind of like pushing it.
Yeah, and everything else is pretty similar. I don't think there's anything all that notable worth talking about. Housing B plus. It is a little more affordable, probably even a little bit more affordable than Venice Gardens. Not way more, but so there's that. Outside of that, that's some of the main differences. And then the fact that feels a little more rural, even though it's not actually rural, if that makes sense.
Yeah, and
it just has that feel.
There's like a lot more trees, I think. That's why it feels more rural, because like the lots are not a lot bigger. They're pretty comparable, but there is just like a lot more trees in between the houses that makes it look a little more country, but it's really not.
Yeah, and I'd say some of the lots are maybe a little bigger
than Venice Gardens.
Than Venice.
Oh yeah, than Venice,
yeah. Well, actually, so hard to say too with Venice because there's such a hodgepodge on the
Yeah.
island of homes. But yeah, Venice Gardens definitely has some pretty big lots too. Yeah, South Venice and Venice Gardens are probably pretty comparable. All right, so let's look at reviews. Ooh, this one's gonna be good just by the first 3 words.
Legend has it, this area was used as an ancient Indian burial grounds because of its unique ability to reject hurricane interference.
I gotta say real quick, so there's all those legends about that, but at the same time, like that's also usually the beginning of a lot of horror movies, like Poltergeist, I think, or some was like Indian burial ground. I don't know. I'm just saying it's a thing. So it's weird how like it's got this positive connotation in this area.
And you'll hear that a lot too.
Yeah.
Despite being right on the Gulf of Mexico, the small city has been blessed with peaceful weather since I've been alive to witness it. Gators and people alike bathe in the endless sun, enjoying superior vitamin D levels and delicious orange juice.
That's an interesting last sentence.
Orange
Gators, people,
juice.
bathe, sun, vitamin D, and orange juice. Yeah, I think
It's pretty accurate.
well,
yeah.
except for the peaceful weather part. I mean,
Yeah.
because we did have Hurricane Ian,
we
which
do get thunderstorms too.
and Hurricane Ian wasn't catastrophic for the Venice. I mean, for certain people, for sure. We're not trying to minimize anyone that had some major issues by any means, but as a whole, compared to like Fort Myers or Naples,
Beach,
like we didn't get hit nearly as hard, but we did have some issues. So we haven't had full protection, I guess you could say. Vitamin D, I agree with that. I'm with it. Orange juice.
Gators and people bathing, yes, I would agree with that too. Especially in the winter, you see gators just like sunbathing by the shore. So yeah, you will see gators. I've never seen a gator walking around though. Like most people think of Florida and they think that gators are walking around everywhere. I've yet to see one.
Our neighbor did capture one on camera once, and we've been here about 3 years now, a little over 3 years. Okay. South Venice is a unique mix of both calm retirement community and active nuclear family community. I agree. There's a little more family feel, I'd say, to South Venice. The area is home to thousands of retired folks from New York, New Jersey, and Michigan. Also see a lot of Ohio plates around the area, I'd say, and more Wisconsin ones in the last year or two.
Wisconsin,
Yeah.
Canadian plates
Yeah.
as well. Lots of them.
It is also home 6 months of the year to people from Canada, Germany, Russia, and Poland. This mix of people from different backgrounds makes South Venice a very interesting place to live and make friends. Thinking about some of the other people's reviews now, I could see that as far as like the diversity component. That we do have quite a few people from Russia, Poland, Ukraine. Germany, I haven't really come across personally. So anyways, although most people are snowbirds and prefer to visit during the cooler months, more people are actually choosing to live here. Due to people moving into the area, we have most of the shops, restaurants, parks, and recreational facilities that most people would find in a city. This makes it a good place for raising a family and for retired folks looking to stay active. Yeah, I think that's a pretty good, accurate review.
I would agree to that.
I don't really have much to add. Nokomis?
I'm curious to see what this one will be like.
Yeah, especially the reviews and the ratings too. Ooh, 4.5 stars, 14 reviews.
Plus number 376. See, this one says to retire in America.
Yeah, they kind of pick and choose with their ratings. So based on that though, in the 4.5 stars, you would think it would fare better than, well, it's a B plus for the rating. I was gonna say better in Sarasota County, but
What's the population there?
it is 3,481. I don't know that. There's got to be other pockets of Nokomis that are not included in that. Or again, maybe it's just the snowbird, but Nokomis is not very big by any means, but when you include some of the like gated and planned communities in the area,
I would say it's similar maybe to Venice Gardens.
Yeah, it feels similar, which I guess
Which Venice Gardens
was about 3,000. But maybe it's just because so much of that population is just snowbirds. So overall niche grade B plus, public schools A, C plus for housing.
That's odd.
Oh, I wonder if this includes like Casey Key.
Oh, yeah.
And there's some like mansions and stuff there that are super expensive that could really inflate it.
Population wouldn't make sense though at 3,000.
Yeah, but there can't be that many people living on Casey Key total, really.
Yeah, most people have like vacation homes.
Yeah, exactly. And just there's not that many. I mean, there's quite a few homes, but I don't know. If I had to guess, I'd say there's 200 homes on Casey Key.
There's a lot of homes on the water too, like on the waterways. So yeah, I guess I could see why it's that much more expensive. I guess I always think of Venice being more expensive than Nokomis, but we have seen a lot of houses like not on the key that are waterfront and big houses like mansions.
Yeah. Good for families, B plus. Jobs, B. Cost of living, B minus. Outdoor activities, B plus. Commute, B plus. Health and fitness. Nightlife, B plus. Nokomis gives me a little bit more of a slight younger nightlife-y vibe compared to Venice. I will say that. Venice was a A though, wasn't it? Yeah.
So was South Venice.
And depending on where you're living in Nokomis, it could be a very quick drive to get to Venice's downtown. Like 3 minutes.
Or like to the south end of Sarasota.
Yeah. You're maybe 5 to 10 minutes from South Sarasota. So diversity B, weather A, health and fitness. Yeah. So I mean, pretty similar to all the other ones as you would think it should be. Let's take a look at some of these reviews.
Nokomis is a nice coastal town with a beautiful beach ready for shark tooth hunting and a day in the sun. There are a few cute shops and of course, a Publix. The housing availability varies, but today is constant.
I don't know what 2022. Well, I don't know what they mean by housing availability being constant. Because 2022, there was a lot of houses for sale. Yeah, inventory was really low. So I'm not sure what that means. But yeah, I don't know. I think it's a quick, accurate review.
Yeah.
And I'll do one more here. Moved here about 2 months ago now. There are numerous things, and this is in 2021. There are numerous things to do indoors and outdoors. I love how many things are pet friendly, so I can bring my fur babies on my fun weekend activities. There are things for everyone. Yeah.
It's true.
People love their pets here, so that's for sure. We definitely, I would say here, compared to just what any other city I've been, see more pets in stores than anywhere. Dogs, like big dogs. Not like little ones you put in your purse, like on the leash dogs. So we're a super pet friendly city and we're here for it. We like dogs.
If you're looking to buy or sell a home in the area, make sure to call, text, or email us. I am a local realtor here, 941-221-1897.
Call or text at any time, whether you're looking to move in the next few days or the next few months. We'll always have your back. We hear from people all the time, and we love it.
Hit the like button, subscribe, turn all notifications on.
And live breezy.